Hello, welcome back. I want to thank you for tapping in with me here for a little bit of evolution and truth. So, today we're going to be talking about belief. Now, belief is probably one of the most important things that you can control in your reality. And I specify your reality because everybody who opens their eyes is living in their own different reality. Now, what happens is because you create your own reality, what happens is we're living in the world, and the world is different than your reality and true reality. So, the world is what we're living in that has been created by man. So, in the world, you have time, you have all these different terms, and this, that, and the other. And reality is just nature, how it truly is. So there is no time. Time is being created by man. All the different states and the birds, the bees, the flowers in the tree, all these are different names. That's not what do you think nature calls these things, what man calls them? No, they just exist. They just are. So in the world, they want you to believe they want everyone to believe one central thing or close to it as possible. That's for control purposes. If everybody is thinking the same, it's easier to control people that way. So you're more empowered when you're in control of your mind. And the things that you believe are what you're going to perceive. It's going to be what you attract. So let's look at this from a couple different ways. So, as I said, what you believe is what you're going to perceive, what you're going to see in the reality that you're creating. That's why when you hear all these different things, all these different social structures of women chasing these different beauty standards and this, that, and the other, they believe that this is what is beautiful. What's beautiful is whatever you call is beautiful. You might see a painting and you might think it's beautiful, and somebody else might just see a bunch of squiggly lines and say, "Oh, that's ugly. That's just messy. That's sloppy." Now, you believe that 70 degrees is cold. Somebody else might believe 75 is cold. So there's no right or wrong, but that's the problem that we have in the world is everybody is getting stuck on right and wrong. Who is the determining factor of what is right and what is wrong? Nobody. So your belief is what determines that, your personal belief. So don't fall into the trap that the world creates. Create your own little world. Now, perfect example of this, Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So delete everything that the world has presented to you and come up with your own beliefs of what something is. Because that is what you're going to receive. That is what you're going to see play out in your world. So another thing that we see playing out today in the world is how dating is right now. So let's say one thing you hear a lot of women saying is there are no good men. All men are dogs. All men cheat. This, that, and the other, right? So if you believe that, guess what? That's what you're saying you want because that's what you believe. So now you could say there are a lot of men that cheat, but when you say all men cheat, there are no good. Look at all you're making a standard. So that is what you're going to attract. And if you don't attract that, let's say you do get a good man come in, you will self-sabotage it. Why? Because you're going to have doubts because you believe all men are dogs. So be careful about the things you believe because that is exactly what you're going to attract. Proverbs 23:7. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. When you think something that's one way of manifesting whatever you want into your reality. Once you apply feeling to it, which is in your heart, Now you've quadrupled the feeling. The feeling is what calls that thing in. So when you're passionate about something, that is what is calling it in, the way you feel about it. Because how the mind works is once you think of something, then the mind pictures it. And then once you picture it, it's either a good feeling or a bad feeling. So whatever that feeling is what you're calling in. The Philippines, 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Everything that I said in that scripture is positive. Once again, if you're thinking of all of these negative things, that is what you're going to attract because it's what you believe. Think of positive things. You can find there are so many things that you can find the negative aspect of, but that is what you're going to attract. So when something goes wrong, look at the positive aspect. I know it's hard in the moment, but once again, if you think, like, let's say you get a flat tire. You don't know why you got that flat tire, but if you say, oh man, bad stuff always happened to me. Why am I blah, blah? Now you're calling in more bad things. So you could look at it as, oh man, I don't know why I got this flat tire. It sucks in this moment. Maybe I was going to get in an accident up the road there, and getting this flat tire prevented me from doing that. You don't know why you did that. But if you believe it was for a bad reason and you believe you got bad luck and bad things always happen, you're calling in more bad energy. Your belief is so powerful, but people misuse it because we're so conditioned to looking at the negative in everything. And by looking at the negative in everything, we're calling in more negative things. Keep your mind on a high vibration. Now let's look at some different scriptures. Hindu scripture from the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita 6.5. One must elevate, not degrade, oneself with one's own mind. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Once again, it's saying exactly what I've just said. Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So be careful on the things that you agree with and make sure you agree with those things. Don't follow the crowd. Don't worry about what your parents believe and with your best friends, all these different things. Because you're going to be the one who are going to be reaping off of your beliefs. So it is crucial for you to be in control of your own mind. Control your beliefs. Now let's look at how the mind works with beliefs. Let's talk about placebo. Now, as I said before, I worked in the hospital when I was in the military. So 20 years of working in the hospital. Now, one thing that they do with all medical trials, when they're coming out with new medications or whatever the case may be, they always have placebo trials. Now, they don't dive too deep into placebo trials. Why? Because you have to ask yourself, well, why is it working at all? So let's say they create this new medication for pain, right? And they do 10 patients. They give 7 patients the real medication that they created. And then they give 3 just a water pill, sugar pill, something that has absolutely zero medication in it. And they get the same instructions as the patients who receive the real medication. Why is it that every trial people are cured with placebo? They receive absolutely no medication, none, but they were cured because whatever they were told during receiving their instructions, they believe, oh man, this pill is going to work. This pill is going to cure me of whatever they're being treated for. So how are they being cured? Because they believed it so. Now, it might sound crazy, But I'm telling you, this is it. It works. Your belief is powerful. Now, we don't have to stop there. Let's take it another step. Surgeries. They have done placebo surgeries as well, where they had one specific one that I remember is the knee pain one. So they had patients who received knee surgeries, same type deal. They had like 7 patients who actually received the surgery. They were cut open and had whatever procedure done, and they have the varying effects from that with those patients. Then you also have the ones that they put the same exact incision in the same area that the people who received the surgery, all they did was cut them and immediately sew them right back up. Why did those patients recover? Because they believed they received the surgery. Your belief is powerful. Now you can go look up all of these things that I'm talking about, which I definitely advise you to do. Always just do your own research. Check out everything. Now we can go even further. So why is it with misdiagnosis? It's the same thing with your belief. So you have had providers who misdiagnose patients with critical diseases or life-threatening things such as the big C, and they say, hey, you have 6 months to live. Now, they've told us to people who had absolutely no trace of it in their system. They were healthy, but they received that diagnosis, and guess what they did within those 6 months? They died. Why? Why did they die? Because they believed that they had it, and the doctor told them that they were going to die. They had 6 months to live. And people have actually died from that. Then they go back and look, oh, we made a mistake. They didn't even have anything. Why did they die? Because they believed they were going to die. They believed they were going to die. I can give you so many examples of people believing something is going to happen and it actually happens. So if this is the case, wouldn't it be more beneficial for you to believe in the positive in something? Because everything is neutral. We assign this negative aspect, this positive aspect, but be careful what you assign to it, because what you believe is going to happen is what's going to happen. So be careful of the things that you agree to, because that is everything. We're nothing but magnets, and your belief is what you're attracting into you. So the only thing is, are you ready to receive that? So we'll make this one short and sweet today, because that is, I was just direct with all of the information, and this is all these things that I stated today. I advise you, like I said, go Google them, and you will find out that all these things are true. And once again, in order for it to take effect in your reality, is everything that I said is here today is knowledge. In order for it to become wisdom, is you have to apply some action to this. So getting knowledge is cool. You could read millions of books, but now if you don't apply any of that knowledge that you read, then that's just what it is. It's just worthless knowledge that you've collected. You've collected a lot of knowledge, but do you have wisdom? Wisdom is the action of all these different things. I'm not telling you a bunch of information that I've collected in books, and now I'm just regurgitating that same information to you. As I said in previous videos, I love science. I have my curiosity. I have to see that these things work before I can believe it. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds interesting. Let me see. And I try so many different things, and then I'm just like, wow, okay, this is true. This is real. Now, whether or not you believe that, totally up to you. I'm not here to change anybody's beliefs. What I am here to do is assist others who are willing to evolve, willing to upgrade their current life, and you just been going around in circles in life and you're just hitting so many different brick walls and you're just saying, what am I doing wrong? You have to understand, when you ask questions out loud, you receive the answer. It's just, were you receptive to when that answer came? Because the information can come to you in so many different ways. We always receive the answers to the questions we ask. It's just, were you receptive enough to receive it? So we'll end the message here today. And as always, if you received anything from this, I ask that you go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next message. Thank you.